another day, another beaver. Cringe little bird. Literally just jumped out of the water. Just tube fed this little fella again. So cute. Now, love taking care of baby birds. Big ounce? Look at this little fella. Yeah! All right, everybody, good morning. I just went to the gym and I'm currently racing to get to a house before our local animal control gets there to pick up 4 baby raccoons. But animal control just euthanizes all the baby raccoons. But for some reason, animal control just does not like us. Man, this city's beautiful. Every other local animal control, including the other cities surrounding us, work with me, but the Waco animal control does not. And I think there's just someone there that's cringe that doesn't like me. All right, everybody, the raccoons are still alive and it looks like animal control just got here. But look at this baby. And now he won't be euthanized. This is just a little kitten. But the girl who was working at animal control, who was very sweet, told me that they trapped this one's parents the day or week before they trapped their mama, and that's why these little guys were crawling around looking for her. And if you take the mama away, these little guys will eventually just leave the nest and start looking for her, which is so sad. Look at this little fella. And these little fellas all sleep in their hammock together. Our first armadillo drop-off of the year, we just got it. Wow. The flooding washed this little guy out of his den. In Texas, you don't need any permits to own a 3-banded armadillo or any of the non-native ones, but there is 9-banded armadillo that is native here, and you do need permits to rehabilitate them. And now we finally have them. This is the smallest one I've personally ever seen. These little guys should be able to eat crickets and worms, so I need to go ahead and get something set up for him as soon as I can. But look how precious this little fellow is, and he still has his umbilical cord. After that, I bought some live crickets for all of our little songbirds so they could learn how to hunt. And the goal is for these guys to learn that they can eat these crickets on their own. I'm gonna give some other ones to these little woodpeckers in here. And now these guys have crickets to hunt. And because this is a cage, there's crickets everywhere in here now. These little fellas have come a long way from when they first came in here. Oh, look at that. Later that day, someone dropped off another baby raccoon. And all right, everybody, I'm currently way too inundated with little baby birds, so I'm gonna be giving a lot of these to All Things Wild. We have a ton of different doves, this precious little starling here, and all these precious little creatures. And I love taking care of baby birds, but we just have too many, and I'm getting a baby hawk today. Ironically, later that day, another animal control gave me this hawk that had fallen out of a nest, and I think it was from Belton. And I know All Things Wild is gonna do an amazing job with them. And it's fun to do this for a week or two, you guys, but after a while, just non-stop rehabbing tons of doves, it gets to be insane. What even is this? Turtle in the road for today. He probably wouldn't survive a fall from here. But look who is standing and walking around all on his own now. Albeit with a little bit of difficulty, but he's getting better every day. He's still doing very well, and his legs made a complete recovery. All right, everybody, this is a small hawk that someone brought in. It's either a red shoulder hawk or a red tail hawk. I'm pretty sure it's a red shoulder. I'm gonna go ahead and give this guy some of the little possums that passed away. He's too small for me to ethically even try to rehab. And I'm using my hands here because he would not eat otherwise. You little goober. He's real skinny. I can tell from his crop that he's real dehydrated as well, so I might have to give him fluids in a little bit. I'm just dipping this pinky in Pedialyte. I'm putting a little bit of this calcium powder on it. And I'm just gonna go ahead and put that right in his tinky little mouth. There you go. And then he'll finish eating the rest. This baby vulture, I'm feeding the exact same way. I put some non-slip pads here. And both these guys had been thrown out of a building by a construction crew, literally out the window, and this little guy did not make it because of his broken legs. Thankfully, another orphan the exact same size came in later that week, so this little guy didn't end up being alone.
Hey, how's about you leave a little like for that, huh?
The 2 babies are out of the pouch. Look at that, you guys. Oh, and look at that little fella going back in there. And as you guys can see, I dyed my pool green for St. Patrick's Day. All right, day 2 of having this cringe little bird. He's eating these pinkies covered in a little bit of calcium. He's doing much better now. All right, everybody, this is day 3 of having this precious little creature. And garbanzo beans won't leave me alone. 156. He's clearly very skinny. You can see his bones through there. We're gonna have to give him a lot of milk. According to the 5% rule, this guy should be eating probably about 7.5 grams of this milk replacer. But as you can see, I have this marked with tape right to the bottom of his lowest rib. Sadly, until armadillos are about 250 grams, they still need to be tube-fed kitten milk replacer. All right, this little guy's doing much better now, and he's eating food like crazy. Just tube-fed this little fella again, and I could feel it going into his little belly, so I know I'm not getting it into the lungs. I also marked this a certain distance, so I know that it's going into the actual stomach, which is down here. This vulture is much healthier now, and it sure is strange watching these creatures eat. All right, everybody, just fed this guy again with the tube feeder. He's doing much better now. And I wanted to get some footage of the flooding just so you guys could see how bad it is. The whole sidewalk is underwater here. Look how hard this poor snake is trying to swim back to the shore. Oh, to be a quarter-sized turtle on a chunk of foam in the Brazos. Big ounce? All right, everybody, B-Alt is back. Look how he's puffing out his chest and making this weird little barking noise. But look at that, you guys. This is what the baby does. Anytime somebody brings a new dog here, this is what happens. I would not want to be in there with him during this. This is what the baby would do if he was in the wild and he had to defend his family from dingo. We won't be letting Finley in there because the baby would probably win that fight. But B-Alt got all these tilapia from La Fiesta down in Austin, and these are going to be perfect for eating all the cappy poop in the pond.
These are an extremely invasive fish here in Texas. They're selling these in these restaurants. Typically, if you're eating fish, it's fried tilapia, essentially bred to eat waste and poop.
Even though everybody loves eating tilapia from HEB, on actual fish farms, these things are literally just eating dog food, basically, or poop. These guys are crazy hardy. But all right, everybody, we're walking these guys to the back here, and the flood made the pond brown. But the goal should be for these guys to eat the cappy poop so I don't have to clean them as much. Also, these are those ducklings we rescued, and they're all doing very well now. And we're gonna try to put 2 in the wetland filter so they'll eat all of this algae. And thank you, B-Alt, for rescuing these fish from the supermarket and bringing them here to eat my cappy's poo. Everybody, I still have this baby armadillo. He's doing okay, but pretty soon I'm going to transfer him to another rehabber that specializes in these. And tube feeding him is always annoying. I hate tube feeding animals because you can always aspirate them. You clear the tube, you get all the air bubbles out of there because you don't want to be blowing air into their belly. And even though it's going straight into his stomach, you still have to do it slowly at a rate of 1 cc per 30 seconds, or else it'll flood his stomach and maybe go into his lungs. And this is the last blue jay that we kept in here because he wasn't eating on his own, but now he is. So we're gonna move little Mordecai outside as well with the other little blue jays. And all of these possums are also too big to be in here, so we can go ahead and move them out immediately. Some of them are actually transferred from All Things Wild. What's he doing in there? The baby's just attacking the hammock, and Gort just decided to sit in there. This fella always, that is Gort too. All the vegetation we put in here got established pretty well. Garbanzo Beans is still not letting me step, and the baby's still, I think, trying to mate with this thing. And you can even see the tilapia right there. That's funny, they're the only white fish that we have, so they kind of glow. And this is Brandon's first time meeting Shlooboo. So cute. This is how Boo Boo is meeting new people. And the pigs have all of this space to live in and swim around, and they all have this nice shelter in here that they go into. And they actually get along pretty well together in here. But they all like to get all dirty and muddy, so that's why these guys are all nasty after that rain. And these guys actually get along pretty well now. And typically this pond never stays full, but it's been full this whole spring so far. And once these two are a little older and we neuter them, I'll be able to let this little guy run around in there as well, or we'll move him to another property. Look at these little fellas. The baby also gets a little bit more uppity when it's raining for some reason. And he loves to just jump at me and try and kill me. It's probably because he thinks it's later than it is in the day. Usually the baby is just like this at night. And I do have to lower down their food a little bit because it's just getting rained on and they can't reach in there very well. And thankfully B-Alt is here to help film this, because normally I can never show you guys when I have to do this kind of thing. Okay, gotcha.
Oh, no. I'm not ready for this.
There's a lot going on. If I don't hold Kevin's neck while I move the feed, he will bite me and make me bleed. Sometimes he does just want to hug me. Sometimes it's just about a hug. And that's all this is. It's not him being mean or angry. Well, he is kicking me a little bit. Sometimes the baby really do just be coming up to me to give me a hug for affection. And that's why we have these signs. All right, everybody. I'm feeding both these guys the same thing for the time being. I need to clean his enclosure out. And he honestly doesn't really need to be in here anymore. All right, everybody. Another day, another beaver bottle feeding video. I'm really trying to get this little bean to eat the little beaver porridge I'm making for him. He still just loves this syringe. Listen to these little noises he makes, you guys. He's still chewing on these twigs and these other little cord grasses, and he can easily come and go from this little water thing where he poops and pees, and those little tiny things are his little poops. When he's ready for bed, he'll just go right back into his little cage. Good morning, everybody. Day 100 of having this beaver. Guy's doing much better now. He's much larger, and he's about ready to be transferred to another beaver rehab soon. It's a lot easier to do these bath times in the tub because I can just drain it afterwards. I'm supposed to supervise this fella for about 15 minutes, 2 or 3 times a day. But all right, everybody. everybody. This young beaver's doing much better now. And look at how Boo Boo's trying to get his bottle still. So ever since Homelander jumped into this little area with these Rhea, I've just left her in here because she looks pretty happy with them. And look at this little fella making friends with Garbanzo Beans. Go ahead and just put this little guy in here so he can swim around in our pond for the first time. I'm gonna throw Garbanzo Beans way over there so he doesn't annoy him. But look at this precious little fella swimming around. Also, he literally just jumped out of the water and bit me. Yeah! But all right, everybody, this is the river walk in Waco. It's completely underwater right now. And I do have a ton of herping footage from whenever the floods came by because I wanted to look around and see all the animals that got knocked out of their homes. And this was one of them. I basically spotlighted the entire river walk and I got some good solid footage of the alligators that live in Waco. So now we have even more proof that there is an established gator population here. And there's the Alico building right there. But I love you guys. I appreciate you. Thanks so much for watching these videos. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Ooh, almost forgot to tell you.